Welcome to this week's Top 5 Camps, ladies and gents. As ever, we've got some banging builds for show you. You all know the drill by now. We're going to see what's what in no particular order, and then rate them at the end. Find out who's won. Before we get into it though, make sure you all hit that like button, maybe consider subscribing, and make sure you check out all the builders featured in this video. There's a link down in the description. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's kick it off with an absolute belter, right? First up, we have NigauD with the Harrowing Heights build, and this is actually the third week in the top 5, so yeah, fair play to you, NigauD. Okay, so what stood out to me about this build is how well NigauD's actually put it together. This isn't an easy location, guys, and it's even harder to think of something, I don't know, useful to do with it. I mean, I'm not sure why there's a truck up there. I don't understand the purpose of that. To me, it's about as useful as tits on a pig. I mean, arguably, tits are very useful on a pig, as they are mammals, but you get what I'm saying. It's very wacky, but isn't Fallout quite a wacky universe anyway? Yeah, I like this one. It's certainly different. Random shit aside, though, it's actually quite a technical build as well. I don't know how you build up here. I'm guessing it's a lot of flotation, manipulation of the situation. I'm not really that adventurous when it comes to camp building. I stick with normal, simple shit. But yeah, it's clear there's been a lot of work that's gone into this, and some of the details are brilliant. Little things like the truck, for example. Notice the mole rat generators underneath the back axle on it. Make it look like the wheels are spinning. I like that kind of stuff. Little details, mon petit fours. Little details. Yeah, overall, really cool design. I like the bike being used as, I'm guessing, to power the monorail. It's certainly a novel idea, and that's why, for me, this week, it's in the top 5, and because it's obviously quite a tricky thing to put together. NigauD, thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever position you end up being in. Camp number 2, we have the Watoga Clinic by NigauD. I honestly don't know how to say your name, mate. Please educate me down in comments, because I've always bloody struggled with it. Right. So, this is on the opposite end of the spectrum. While NigauD's was quite out there and a little bit wacky, this is something I guess you'd find in a wasteland. I've never actually lived in a wasteland, although I have visited Blackpool a number of times, and for those who don't know, that is the closest real-life equivalent we've got to the Fallout universe. And it's also full of clinics as well, but they're a different kind of clinic. They sort out very different issues, like if you've got scrot rot or... Anyway, moving on swiftly. What I'm trying to say is, despite it being quite a clean-looking building, it's also rather immersive as well. I think it matches in with Watoga's architecture perfectly. It's a really cool-looking building, exterior-wise, and yeah, I can't complain about it one bit, ladies and gents. Now, if we take a look on the interior, though, get rid of that clean image of the outside. It's actually quite immersive inside of here. Bit scruffy, but it matches in with theme nicely. Not over-decorated, it's a good balance, this one. Aye, really impressive decor. That operating room is really well done. I like this one. Not the most technical that's been submitted this week, but still a really cool build, which I think fits the wasteland perfectly. As I've said 97.8 times now. NigauD, please, for the love of God, tell me what your name is in comments and how to pronounce it. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in. Much love. Numero 3, we have another Bear dick sucking incoming. This is, what is it? The Moonshine Torch. And, do we even really need to tell you why I've put this in the top 5? I mean, look at that thing. It's cool as penguin piss, and obviously very complicated to do. Now, I'm sure some of you are hoping that I will explain all the complicated intricacies of Bear's build, but I'm not gonna do, right? For the pure and simple reason of I don't have a fucking clue. This shit is alien to me, so yes, while I can recognise there is some complicated shit going down, I can't tell you how to do it, unfortunately. And I mean, guys, do you really want to listen to me going into extreme detail over building techniques? I can talk a glass eye to sleep under normal narration. Imagine me trying to get technical. Jesus Christ, I would be like the YouTube version of Snow White's Poison Apple. You don't want that. Believe me. Really cool build, this. And the interior's quite good as well. Let's not forget about that. Obviously, the torch is, you know, the highlight, both metaphorically and physically. But that's some good decor. You can't lie. Bear's put a lot of time into that as well. Awesome looking camp. Really technical. to a point where I don't understand what's going on. And overall, seriously, solid work this year, Bear. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever position you end up coming in. Camp number 4, we have the Clandestine Cabin by Cowlight Moonboy. And wow, that is a nice looking build, you know. Oh, that's a stunner. And I don't like my modern shit, but I've got to take my hats off to Moon on this. My hats, yeah, because they have multiple heads. No, I've got to take my hat off to Moon. This is bonny. This is a bonny looking build. Aye, that roof as well. That must have taken bloody forever. It's all wall pieces in it, Moon. I dread to think how long it'd take you to actually put that together and match it up to the other side. I'm sure you've got a little tricky way of doing it. But yeah, nice looking camp. I'm not a fan of the width of it. It's the opposite of a chode. It's quite long and thin rather than short and fat. But other than that, mate, it's beautiful. Really eye-catching camp. Now, aside from the exterior, Moon's done a great job on the inside as well. It's typical cowboy style. Very clean, very modern. Got some cool little things made up as well, like the traditional dresses that Moon makes, you know, with the little lettering as the handles on them. Aye, it's a really nice looking camp, this. Again, you all know, guys, modern stuff. Not really my cup of tea, but this is up there this week for me. Fantastic looking build. Really clever roof on it. Aye. Excellent job, Moon. Excellent job. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever position you end up finding yourself in, pal. So now we come on to camp number 5, and ladies and gents, I'm going to let you into a little secret. Usually this will be the last camp, and then we go to honourable mentions. But this week I've not actually decided what's going to be an honourable mention. So we're going to take a look at Lady H's camp now. Then there's going to be another 2 camps. Then at the end, when we do the ratings, the people with the lowest ratings will be the honourable mentions. Does that make sense? Aye, of course it does. So, on to Lady H's camp, right? This is where my lack of playing time on 76 in recent months is actually letting me down. The only thing that I recognise on this, building-wise, other than, like, the stairs and whatnot, is the diner pieces. I have no idea what them windows are. I have no idea what the walls are. To the window, to the wall, the sweat drops down my balls. I'm sorry. I had to get that in there. It's been a while. I think I know what that awning is. Is it a gas station awning that were released a few months ago now? I do vaguely remember that, but yeah, you're just going to have to forgive me for this one, guys. All I know is it looks cool, all right? I'm getting Santry Hill vibes off it. Yeah, watch this wall piece now be like a Santry Hills wall piece or something along that lines. I don't know. Yeah, but that's the kind of vibes I'm getting. I think that awning's roof looks absolutely incredible. Very futuristic looking house. I love the appearance of this thing. A few more cool little bits on it, like the floating roof pieces as floors, and the fact that you've actually managed to build this close around a prefab is very impressive. I mean, obviously it can be done, but it's not the easiest method of building in a lot of cases. Aye, exterior-wise, Lady H, I think you've killed this. One of the most unique yet realistic Fallout houses I've ever seen. It's actually really, really sweet, this. Let's have a ganders on the interior, and yeah, simply lovely. Modern, clean, matches with the exterior. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything that screams out to me. Although it is stupid o'clock at night and I am tired, so if I miss anything, I do apologise. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a decent interior, but the exterior is what really did it for me on this build. Lady H, thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in. I'm just going to stop saying that. I feel like I've said it way too many times in this video. Watch me forget and say it again on next camp. Okay then, so camp number 6, and bearing in mind these are not honourable mentions, I'm going to let you know at the end what makes it in. I know I've just said that, but some people have short-term memory loss. This is... what is this even called? Scrappy Finds by Silver Bunny, I do believe. Yes, indeed, Scrappy Finds by Silver Bunny. And I just want to say, right, this is an awesome use of a pre-existing location. This is not an easy one to build in either, let me tell you guys. You've got a fair few NPCs around here, and they do have occasional fights with enemies as well, so you got that to deal with. And can I just clarify, the fights usually take place inside of the prefab, so yeah, it can be it can be quite fun. On top of that, every time I've tried building here, like most pre-existing structures, I've had to put items down on mats, which does take a lot longer to build. It's not easy, is what I'm saying. I mean, it's not mad difficult, but it does take a little bit more extra work to get this looking bob on. And I think Silver Bunny's done an alright job on it. I have got to say, though, and I have mentioned this to Bunny as well, so don't think I'm just being a bitch. I'm not a massive fan of the amount of signs that Bunny has used on the outside of it, but it is a shop, as we'll see from the interior in a minute, and it does give some awesome lighting. That's one thing Bunny is good at. She is really good at lighting. While I'm not a massive fan of giant neon signs, I do think they work well for this build. Does that make any sense? I hope it does, because I know what I'm on about, even if no other fucker does. Yeah, so to sum up the exterior, great use of the pre-existing location. I do like the junk that's on the outside as well, and it is very attractive. I mean, it bloody stands out, doesn't it? You know, you ain't missing that. It's like the second coming of Jesus. Let's take a look on interior, and yeah, typical Silver Bunny. Very well decorated, high attention to detail, and very war-friendly, actually. This one is extremely convincing. Looks like something you'd find in a wasteland, doesn't it? Kind of makes sense, considering we're in a pre-existing structure. But yeah, I can't fault this side of it one bit. You've knocked this one out at part, Silver Bunny. Decent build, great use of this location, and I've got no complaints whatsoever. Excellent job with this one, Bunny. Thank you very much for entering. So for our 7th and final camp, before we find out where everybody's placed, ooh, excited, ain't it? I bet you can barely wait. I'm literally pissing myself with happiness here, as you can probably tell. This is the Blue Cybertrip by the Akiras. And like many of the Akiras builds, it's very futuristic and very modern. I literally have no idea what it's supposed to be, though, Akira's. Is it supposed to be a science lab? Is it supposed to be something based around the military? Is it supposed to be a futuristic home? I don't know. Yeah, but what I do know is it looks pretty damn impressive. Not really my style, I will hold my hands up and admit, but I can appreciate the work that's gone into it. It's got some cool little bits on this. I think my favourite little one that I've seen on the outside is the custom-made fans with the kitchen cupboard things. They're really impressive. There's just loads of nice little highlights on it, and as simple as it is, the blue neon tubes. I think they make a massive difference to the overall appeal. No idea why I said appeal so aggressively then, but we're just going to gloss over it. Yeah, exterior-wise, I like it. It's different. Again, not really my favourite style of building, but it does look good. And again, another thing, how you've mixed and matched textures. So you've like swapped wall pieces around and added the kitchen cupboards popping out in certain places. All adds to it, adds a little bit of a texture to it, I think the word is. The interior, very much the same. It filled with like some really cool merges as well. This is an awesome looking inside. Why does that sound wrong? Awesome looking inside. I don't know, right? But what I'm trying to say is it's pretty cool in here. Kind of matches the theme of the exterior. There is some bits like the stone walls, which I think don't really go with it, but that's a minor thing. The decor in this gaff, next level. I like the robotic toilet as well. I'm hungry for your poo. Don't make me starve. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know where that came from. Family Guy. That's where it came from. Yeah, Akira's fantastic job. Different build. I do like seeing things that stand out and break away from the norm. Yeah. Solid. Solid job on this one. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in. Speaking of positions, it's about time we find out where people have actually come this week, innit? Because I've cocked up and, you know, not having my actual placements sorted before doing the voiceover. Let's just start off the ratings with Lady H's camp. I'm going to give this an 8.5. Now, while I do love the exterior of it and how cleverly Lady H has put it together, the interior decor, while it matched and it wasn't bad, I just think it didn't have as much as some of the others. So yeah, an 8.5 from me. Moving on, let's do Silver Bunny's rating. I'm also going to give this an 8.5 as well. Yes, there is going to be some ties this week, guys. Don't worry, I'll make a choice at the end and you can discuss amongst yourselves. Yeah, Silver Bunny, 8.5. Great use of the pre-existing location. Great decor on the place. Yeah, solid build in my opinion. Okay, so let's now go with, I don't know, NigauD's camp. NigauD, again, I don't know how you pronounce that. Good build. Really nice exterior. Think it matched in with Watoga really well. Interior decor on it, again, spot on. I'm going to give this one an 8.5 as well. But please remember, I am going to rank them. Don't worry, I'm not just, copying out of actually placing them. But yeah, another 8.5. Solid build all around. Very well executed. Tell you something, it's hard this week. I know all the ratings are a bit same so far, but I tell you, some of the entries this week, god damn, another week, they'd be winning. But anyway, enough of that. Let's take a look at Moonlight Cowboys camp. So, I loved the exterior of this thing. Again, modern houses not really my thing, but you can't deny it's stunning. And the amount of work that Moon put into those roof pieces, that's gotta be worth something. Do you know what I'm saying? Decor-wise, again, much like Lady H's, quite simple, but it matched in with the exterior. Had a little bit more flair, though, than Lady H's. I'm going to give it a 9.5, purely and simply for the sheer complexity of that roof. That would have taken some time, guys. It's not the simplest of things to do. So, yeah, Moonlight Cowboy, 9.5 for me. Next up, Cowan Baby. This is a 10 out of 10 from me, my week's number 1, and it's for a couple of reasons. 1, difficult building location. 2, really unique use of the location. Shut the fuck up, phone. And 3, I just thought it was cool because it was mad but immersive at the same time. Absolutely loved this camp. Ticked every single box in my opinion. Great work, Cowan Baby. My number 1 without argument. Yeah Bears Wasteland Torch. Right, this is a 9.5. I loved it and I understand how complicated it is, and I know some of you are screaming, why is this not number 1? Honestly, I don't know. I was very impressed by Yeah Bear's build, and again, I know how difficult it is. I get that, but I just looked at Cowan Babies, and that just appealed more to me. So yes, it isn't lost on me, the complexity of Yeah Bear's, but I just like Cowan Babies. But still, a fantastic build, very, very unique. More of an art piece than a camp, really. Yeah, that's a solid 9.5 for Yeah Bear. Fuck it, maybe a 10. I don't know. Yeah, sod it. Yeah Bear can have a 10 as well, but Cowan Baby is still my number 1. Now for our final camp, the Akira's. Right, I'm going to give it a 9. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan of the exterior appearance, but I can appreciate the amount of work that's gone into it and the amount of texture it has. I know that sounds stupid, but I know what I'm on about, if that makes any sense. There's just so many little details on it that have been custom made, and I can appreciate that. The interior on that thing, though, is excellent. The merges that are in it, the sheer cyberpunkiness of it. It's an overall very well put together camp. So yeah, I'm going to give the Akira's a solid 9. So where does that actually leave us? Well, in number 1 for me this week with a 10 out of 10 is Cowan Baby. In number 2, also with a 10 out of 10, is Yeah Bear. In number 3, we have Moonlight Cowboy with 9.5. And in number 4, we have the Akira's with a 9. We do have a bit of a problem though, don't we? Because we've got 3 camps at 8.5s and only 1 space left in the top 5. The other 2 are going to be honourable mentions. And that's fine. That's fine. It's been a tough week. Doesn't mean they're any lesser of camps. It's just, it's how it's what I think, basically. If you disagree, please let me know in comments. I'm welcome to it. Who do I go for the number 5 spot? I'm going to have to go with NigauD. I can't say your bloody name. Yeah, whatever, in the number 5 spot. It just edged Lady H's and Bunny's build for me. And that's not to say Lady H's and Bunny's builds aren't worthy of the top 5. Like I said, it's just been a bloody tough week. And NigauD's did stand out more to me than them two. So yeah, there's your top 5 and your 2 honourable mentions, guys. As ever, thank you very much for watching. I do welcome your comments. Please let me know down below what order you'd have them in, if you'd switch them around and whatnot. And if you want to submit any of your builds to potentially get in the top 5, there's a link down to my Discord in the description. I hope to see you all there. Anyhow, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Top 5 is going very steady at the moment. I do appreciate everybody entering still and all of you guys watching. As we say in the north, I will love you and leave you, and I'll catch you at next one. Have fun. Much love.